Welcome to Weekdays with TCF, presented by The Loop Sports. I am Zach Lilly. You can follow me. I just hit myself in the chest so hard my head voice is I gave myself a little pep maybe there in the step, but
jolt to the system.
Yeah, gonna knock the wind out of me. But I am Zach Lilly. You can follow me at ZLilja, Lilja, TCF on Twitter. You can follow the main page at typical_Chicago. Follow Loop Sports on Twitter at @the_Loop_Sports. You are watching us on Typical Chicago Fans Facebook Live. And you can follow it. I think the Loop Sports always shares it for us. And then Instagram, Typical Chicago Fans, and the Loop Sports.
Yo, what's up, everybody? It's Boomy over here. Make sure you follow me on Twitter at BoomyTCF. If you are an Apple user, you can find us on Apple Podcasts. We just put out this week's episode. What was that, Monday night, Tuesday morning?
Tuesday morning.
Yeah. So the new episode's up there. Make sure you subscribe, rate, and review. If you're not an Apple user such as myself, you can follow us on Spotify and get those episodes every time you open your app. And make sure you head on over to the YouTube page. We're doing a lot of stuff with the YouTube page, adding some different categories and videos and things like that. So make sure to tune in, hit the red subscribe button there, and just follow along. We're going to have some good stuff.
What's up, guys? Gameboy here. You can follow me at TCF Gameboy. If you want to buy one of our shirts that we purchased for the summer, just go ahead and hit one of us up. It's $15. If you're local, we can drop it off. You can come pick it up. $20 to ship it out. But you will want this shirt for the summer. Trust me, it's nice and light. It's going to feel good all summer long for all the summer cookouts that you guys go to.
It's the shirt of the summer.
Yeah.
I do like how
You'll
it is.
Well, for now, you'll be one of a kind. Then everybody will have one, and you'll feel left out.
Yes. But
So better go now.
Hope everyone had a great Memorial Day weekend. A nice little weekend to get away, a little cookout, which we will be doing our TCF top 3 cookout foods today. So that'll be nice. Because it's a nice little kickoff to the summer, even though it will not stop raining around here. I don't really get what that's all about. But I don't think we've gone a day without rain for at least 2 weeks now, it seems.
It doesn't feel like summer yet.
It's never going to end.
No, it's never going to end. It's just
I'm going to build a boat in the backyard and just see what happens.
Yeah, because I feel like even if it's not raining the next day, it's still like the ground's just soggy. It's like a sponge because we've just gotten so much of it. But yes, we will be doing our top 3 cookout foods, so we'll be looking out for that at the end of the show. But let's go right into it. We have the NBA Finals that does not kick off until tomorrow night. It's kind of a weird layoff. I don't get why they take so long off for it. But it is. If you listen to the podcast on Tuesday, you realize that I'm an idiot. I did not realize that the Warriors did not have home court advantage. The Raptors do. I think the Warriors is going to be the first time in a long time in any playoff series that they haven't had it.
Houston last year.
So that's how long. I'm wrong. I am wrong spewing out of my ears.
But it never feels like they actually don't have home court advantage because they're just so good. You know they're going to take one of the first 2 games anyway and steal it back. So what does it matter?
Like with Portland, they still they were down 10 points, 3 different games, and they came back from all of those. And it's just they make a lead look like nothing. And you can tell that's a team that's not going to be like rattled. So I don't think playing on the road, I think it actually will fuel them more, especially at this point. I think with no KD, no Boogie Cousins for the first game at least, they're motivated enough. But going on the road, I think it will spark maybe a little bit more motivation, which is not good for the Raptors.
Yeah, that's not what the Raptors need is to motivate the Warriors. I mean, I think realistically we can all agree the Warriors, even without Boogie and without KD, are still the better team on paper. But, again, you don't play the game on paper, so let's see the way things shake out. I think the Raptors are the hottest team, the way they finished up that Milwaukee series because they were kind of the dogs there the whole time. So, I think it's going to be fun. I definitely don't think we're going to see a sweep. But
no.
Give me some good finals games, man. Like, give me some of those ones the way the Raptors and Bucks came down to. Give me those close ones.
With Kawhi, too, like it's going to be exciting him and go up against the Warriors. Maybe who are some role players you think that are going to have to really come into play for the Raptors?
I would say the biggest one for me is Danny Green.
That's a good choice.
He needs to shoot well in this series. Otherwise, I don't know.
Well, he's useless without shooting, in my opinion. He's not the rim attacker.
He's not the defender he once was. He's still a solid defender, but he's not nearly what he used to be with the Spurs back when they were winning championships there. And I think he has to have a big series.
Speaking of that, though, he has finals experience.
Yeah.
So I think he's definitely still hold the record for the most threes in a single series.
He might
in the NBA Finals. I think he broke it back in the when he was with the Spurs. But Boomy, who do you think that needs to really step up?
I know
for the
this might
Raptors?
sound typical based off of what happened at the end of the last series, but I think Fred VanVleet's got to continue to dominate the way that he has. He shot the ball better. I always catch myself, just because Fred's a Rockford guy, I always catch myself if the Raptors are on TV, I'll watch and just kind of hope that, Fred gets some time. And he finally came out and did what, we all kind of hoped that he could be. But they need to continue that, because Kyle Lowry has not been the Kyle Lowry that the Raptors need him to be, and Pascal Siakam has been. He's had some really good games, but he hasn't strung together, in my opinion, a really good string of games. Mm-hmm. So I think if you get I obviously all of those guys are going to be big, but if Fred can come off and give you 15 to 20 a night, I think the Warriors are going to be in trouble, because of the fact that they're going to have Klay Thompson guarding probably Kyle Lowry, I would assume.
I would think.
Because you're not going to put him on Kawhi Leonard. It's just and Klay Thompson might be the best defender in the entire Western Conference, but you need like a guy like Fred to step up and knock down some huge shots. I also think that, like you said, Danny Green, some of those guys that are seeing minutes that aren't maybe playing a million minutes, playing starter minutes, one of those guys needs to come in and do something. You
bring up a good point. I wondered how much the big guys are going to play in the series for the Raptors, because Marc Gasol was a big reason why they won that series against the Bucks.
Yeah,
he really shot the ball well. I also thought he defended well in the post. But when the Warriors bring out that death lineup where they don't have a big guy out there, I mean, what role does Gasol play? Is he still out there? Same with Ibaka.
Who's going to guard on the other end? And even at the other end, I mean, they could put Draymond or somebody down there that can even match up with him, or he can't match up on the other end.
I almost look at it the opposite way of you, Gamer, where you said, what are they going to do out there as far as, like, who are they going to guard? But, like, who's going to guard them?
Yeah.
And if those guys can tire out the front court of the Warriors, then that's going to work in Toronto's favor. I think that if you can get those big guys going and get them going early, you're going to see that pay some dividends on the inside, especially if your shooters are shooting the way they did at the end of the Eastern Conference Final.
But speaking of Fred, he had 60 points in the first 15 games of the playoffs, and then the last 3 he's had 48. He's really starting to step it up.
That's 4 points a game, and then just exploding and going nuts. That's
like Patrick said, people forget Coach Glenn, who coached me, coached him for prime time.
What company?
What company we have?
What
here?
Company,
man? But yes,
you should Fred probably doesn't want you telling people that.
It has nothing to do. I'm just proud that we didn't get the same teach.
Well, you also didn't get the same skill either.
Oh no, not even close.
God-given talent.
No, he was on an exciting prime time team though. Honestly, it was. They had a bunch of good athletes. I know they had.
Marcus Posley.
To St. Bonaventure, and they made the tourney one.
They also had a kid go somewhere in Iowa and win like a
very good team. They went down to Orlando and won some tournament down there. I think it was that one that's always on ESPNU.
Yeah,
I think they won that.
They call that the national title, but there's like 35 A.
Yeah, there's like a bunch of different. It just goes on, and it's kind of fun to watch.
I coached a very mid-level AAU team, and we played in 3 national titles tournaments a year. So
just quick question: what do you guys think of RJ Hamilton going to New Zealand, skipping college and going to a professional, getting into the professional way of doing it, but also getting some more money, his family's moving over there.
It's cool for me to see, because it's kind of sticking it to the NCAA, but this is not the first time we've seen this.
No.
I mean, Brandon Jennings went to China and made a ton of money. You've seen, I think there was a couple, Emmanuel Mudiay, didn't he go?
That was
Italy
for
or something?
eligibility reasons, right?
But still, it's not unprecedented. I just think it's cool to see anytime someone sticks it to the NCAA. I'm going to go make, a couple $100,000 and take care of my body and not have to worry about going to school. And I'll see you, the rest of you guys next year for the lottery.
Yeah.
Because he even said, he's like, my dream was not to play college basketball.
Yeah, he's like,
my dream was to play in the NBA.
But he would have gone to Kansas. So maybe the New Zealand, what are they? New Zealand Breakers.
Yeah.
They're better recruiters than Bill Self. So.
Yeah, well, money talks. Money does a lot of talking.
And Kansas probably can't pay the same amount of money.
Yeah, they can pay money, but they can't pay the same.
I mean, they're paying on money. Let's not.
And boom, balloons go off. I think we just got our 250th like, boy.
Oh, there we
Yep.
Hey.
Someone else just liked the page, and I know we were sitting at 249.
Let's
So I
go.
think we
Also,
got
send
number
in your
250.
questions right now. Any question you got, we're doing a little segment at the end here, leftovers. We already got 4 questions ready for us, but we want some more throughout
so
the
let
show.
us know. I mean, anything sports
Yes,
related.
just throw it out. We may not. We're not going to answer right in the moment, but we will get to it in a little segment that Boomy came up with. I like because leftovers cookout. We're thinking about food.
Hey, man, I
after
was
this-
I
after
was
this
hungry
Memorial
after,
Day weekend.
after a little while.
After the many cook. Did you go to a cookout at all? Oh, actually, it was too rainy to have
No,
a cookout.
I didn't do anything. I mean, I hung out with you on
Me
Saturday.
and
I was there. Your body was there. Your brain was
I was still
asleep.
struggling.
Yeah.
From
We pushed back. That's why the episode didn't come out till Tuesday. A little peek behind the curtain. We pushed the episode back till Tuesday because Zach physically could not record until Monday night.
I was tired.
Tired. That's a good
Lots
word.
of good work for it.
Good
long
word.
weekend.
All right,
so-
boys. So what's the honest predictions of the NBA Finals? Like, do we think that? And my dad asked me, do the Raptors have a legitimate chance to win the NBA Finals?
I don't think
we
so.
got to cut that out.
I don't think
I
so.
don't know.
Honestly, I just unless they really and truthfully without KD, even if he doesn't come back, I still just don't see where they're going to beat them 4 times. I just don't know how it's going to happen. I don't really think. I just don't get how they're going to string that amount of time, amount of wins together against this team in a 7-game series. I just don't see it. I don't know if I'm dumb, but
Yes.
I just don't see it.
sorry.
I see it maybe going 6. I say
Yeah.
5. I say
Okay.
5.
I got Warriors in 6. I think the Raptors will be
Gentlemen
competitive.
sweep.
I really do think that it's going to be a lot of good games that we've kind of talked about. We want to see good competitive games from start to finish. I think we'll get that a little bit, but I don't think the Raptors going to win more than 2.
All right, and I think it's going to go 7, but I'm going to give you the way that the Raptors are going to beat the Warriors. And it's going to be those stranglehold defensive games where the over-under is set at like 212 and the final score is like 91-89. They did that a couple times against Milwaukee. They kept it tight. They made them make bad shots. And I think if there's any team in the Eastern Conference right now that is defensively capable enough to do that, it's the Toronto Raptors. So I think that's the way. But in all honesty, I think it's going to be a hell of a series, and you're going to see it go 7. And I think the Warriors are going to pull it out in Game 7 in Toronto.
I hope you're right. I like that outcome. I want the Raptors to win just 'cause
Yeah.
I want to see a new winner, but I would be just fine with seeing 6-7 games of good basketball.
I just don't. Like you said, it would be exciting to see. I hope it does get a Game 7. But I just even in a Game 7, I think the Warriors have so much experience.
Mhm.
So much talent on that team that they could even save a KD until a Game 4 or 5 and wait until they see if they even need him. And if they can wait him out, I just don't know. This team has so much firepower on the bench and starters. But it would be. I hope the Raptors make it a series. I'm not saying that I want the Warriors to win it all. I hope I honestly hope the Raptors come out and win because, like I said, it'd be exciting. Do you guys think even if they win this, is Kawhi going to be in Toronto long term?
No.
I don't think so. No.
I don't think so either. There was a video. What was it? I think it was his cousin or something.
Oh,
was
yeah,
doing
yeah.
Instagram Live, and in the background, you could kind of hear like an uncle say, like, "Oh, don't get used to it. Like he's not gonna be
Yeah.
here next year or something."
All right,
So,
last question on the NBA from viewer Blair. Shout out Blair. MVP pick. I'm going to go Klay Thompson. Klay Thompson, and like I said, I think this is going to come down to who is going to win defensively, and I think you're going to see a lot of votes come in because of the defensive side. So that's where I think Klay Thompson guarding the best player, one of the best players on the Raptors, and I think he's going to be huge from the three-point line. So
I'm going with
yeah.
anyone other than Steph Curry because I think it's
Ooh.
funny that he's never won one.
So the field.
Yeah,
Yeah.
he's never won.
Convenient.
Yeah.
No, but what I mean is he's never won one. KD's won the 3
Yeah.
straight, and then Iguodala won the 1.
Did you see KD's odds to win NBA Finals MVP is like plus 1,800? Might not be a terrible idea to
Yeah.
sprinkle it on if he comes back in game 2 and it
just
goes 7.
off, or just
Yeah.
like they lose the first one, and then he comes back and just dominates the whole
Yeah.
series. You win a lot of
Very
money.
well could happen.
Might sprinkle some money there.
I'm kind of with your
We just
way
don't
of
come
thinking
back
here
at all.
about defense. I'm going to go Draymond Green.
That's a good pick
I
too.
think he'll probably have a couple triple doubles, which I think the NBA really values today. I think that
Absolutely.
we'll put up
Actually
the numbers.
passes really well for a not big man, but a bigger size man.
Would we say if the Raptors win, we're guessing it's going to
It's
be
gotta be
Kawhi
Kawhi
Leonard?
Leonard.
I mean, yeah, there's nobody else it could be.
Just
I
asking
can't
question.
even in a world. I can't imagine like Pascal Siakam averaging. Like I was
Fred,
looking.
that'd be
I was
awesome.
looking at their stats the other day, and it's kind of silly. I think Kawhi's averaged like 32 a game, and then the next closest was like 17 or 18.
Yeah. He's carrying his
Yeah,
team.
yeah.
It's crazy.
Yeah.
People said about LeBron carrying teams, like Kawhi is carrying
Yes.
teams. Like he is carrying the Raptors.
But it just proves to you what kind of an opportunity that the Bucks really blew. I mean, if they could just contain him and gotten something from anyone else,
Yeah, they just didn't get any help.
they just couldn't get any help. And coming from a team that had such a solid season, not really losing, I think back-to-back games until that series in their season. Actually, I think maybe they might have did it one time before, or either way, having the perseverance to not like really let the games before rattle them. They really did go out there up 2-0 and get it, just throw it away.
Yeah, there was definitely a blown opportunity. All right, now I'm a little worried. What's wrong with Albert Almora?
What some of the security? I think he hit a foul ball that might have hit somebody, because I saw him freaking out beforehand, but I didn't see. Hopefully, maybe
He's
a viewer
crying,
saw
yeah.
because
Let us know if you guys see what's going on.
I didn't see what happened. I saw him freaking out after he was hitting, but I didn't know what had happened yet.
That's too bad. Yeah, I think it's going to be good NBA Finals. I'm finally excited to hopefully see one. Give me that. Was it 16 final where LeBron and them went to 7?
Yeah.
I missed that. I missed that a lot.
I want that.
Yeah, like I said, all we really want is an exciting series. We don't need the Warriors just to sweep.
Hey,
Or,
I pinned that comment so we remember it later.
oh, well, you just asked it.
No, I didn't.
You just pinned the MVP one.
Oh well, I pinned the wrong one.
No.
So leave it.
Me, you just answered the
I was like,
question.
why are you unpinning the stuff I just pinned?
No,
Creative control problems here on the show.
Yeah, definitely. We're trying something new out. Stick with us. All right, that's one finals. NHL Finals. Does anybody else give a rat's ass?
I do
Nope.
because I want the Blues to not win this. I want the Blues to get swept at this point because they're actually playing right now. Because they have never won a Stanley Cup Finals game, so I would like to keep that the same. So I am heavily rooting for the Bruins to win because it's 2-2 now. But the Bruins went up 1-0 in the series. They won 4-2. Actually, St. Louis got out to a 2-0 start.
Most dangerous lead in soccer.
Most dangerous lead in all sports. And
Basketball? Not really.
Oh yes, it's dangerous.
You're
At
silly.
the end of the game, 2 points, you hit a 3. Game
No,
over.
but
So
2-0.
dangerous.
No,
That's
you
how
said
dangerous.
2-0, not
That
2 point
doesn't-
spread.
No, a 2-point lead is what I said.
No.
Is what I said.
You said 2-0 lead.
No, 2.
Oh, they're down 2-0. Game's over.
No, 2.
I know.
You know
I'm
what I
messing with
said.
you. I'm just messing with you.
but-
Reports from the viewership. Albert Almora unfortunately hit a little kid in the crowd with a foul ball. So
I assumed it had to be something like that for him to be
Hopefully
reacting the
that
way he
kid's all
did.
right.
Yeah, I hope he's okay. Hopefully, just a quick trip to the hospital and he'll be all right.
all right, here's I'm starting to realize I've said this multiple times. I want both these teams to lose in this Stanley Cup playoffs. I'm finally coming to the realization that's probably not going to happen. So I needed to go 7. And yeah, I needed to go 7. And I'm gonna need
why.
I'm gonna need just because I want them both to lose. I want to be able to enjoy both teams losing games. I want to see people freak out. I want to see
I don't need.
Portnoy. I want to see all those annoying Boston people freak out. They're just going 7, and then I need Boston to win like 8-0 in Game 7.
That works.
That
I'm
would
cool
be
with
a
that.
perfect world for me. That's just how I want to see things end.
I'm going for a quick sweep by the Bruins.
I just don't think that's going to happen.
The Bruins, though, it was a little controversy to start off it in Game 1. Was it Torrey Krug? Did we come up with this? Hit Rob Thomas of the Blues. Rob Thomas
Also of Matchbox 20.
He hit. It was crazy. He got kind of like mauled on the ground. His helmet came off. The guy from the Bruins, and he kind of ran after the guy who was going after him. But then he realized I can't just hit this
Take
guy,
that guy
or it will
out,
be a penalty. So he found the guy with the puck, and he lit him up. He lit him up, and then the guy did not hit. He's not playing game. Rob Thomas is not playing Game 2 because of the hit.
Just good hockey.
Yeah.
But it's a controversy that has maybe he should have been suspended. I don't think he's been suspended.
No, it was a clean hit. I mean, it wasn't
It's just crazy.
dirty
He had no
hit.
helmet on.
But
It
I
was
actually
wild.
watched a full NHL game the other night for the first time in the playoffs. Like I'd watched some snippets here and there, but I really watched that game one, and it felt good to have meaningful hockey back. And like you said, it was a close game. I mean, it was 2-2 with I think 9 minutes to go in the third period or something. Maybe it was 11 minutes, something like that. I don't remember the exact time, but it was good, meaningful hockey for a long time. And then it went to 3-2, and then obviously the late empty netter. But that was fun to watch, and I did enjoy seeing that meaningful hockey and actually having a reason to watch other than it being like a first round game that no one.
Yeah, it's a nice game that like had it's competition. Competition. It's a good series. You want a good series out of it because even if you don't care about either team, some of this playoff hockey with the big hits, it's fun to watch because of what's on the line.
Exactly.
And every game means so much. So I think even if you're not really into hockey as much, these finals are really when the guys are going at it the most. I mean, they don't really allow them to fight as much as I would like to because I think that's the best part of hockey. But they are, especially after this hit, they're going to be guys going after each other.
Love it. It's like you said, meaningful hockey. Let's see the two best teams go at it, and I'll actually probably be watching more than I have all playoffs. But yeah, 7 games, 8-0 Bruins, Game 7. That's what I want.
As it's not even on. We're watching the Cubs.
Yeah, I'd rather watch the Cubs. To be honest, whatever.
Let's move on to the Chicago Cubbies, who are
speaking of the Cubs,
30-23. I'll be there Monday.
Nice.
But if you want to go to the Cubs game, SeatGeek. Shout out SeatGeek.
Just use SeatGeek a couple times.
The promo code is TheLoopSports in all caps. Give you $20 off of your first purchase. So go over to SeatGeek, get your tickets. They got a nice little system that gets you your best tickets for the best value.
Look for green. Those are your best value. And it's not even just sports. Like I bought tickets to see Machine Gun Kelly in a couple weeks on there, and it was you know me, I'm a frugal shopper. I went and shopped like 8 different places. SeatGeek had the best prices after all ticket fees and taxes and all that. They were definitely the best. So make sure you head to and check out.
You want to go out to Wrigley or guaranteed rate, I guess.
Somebody go to the game. Jesus Christ. Somebody go.
But let's get into the Cubs.
Did you see that picture?
Yeah, but that was weird though, because it was the doubleheader. It was the
there was not a human being in the crowd.
It was a little
bad.
It was not bad. But we're not going to talk about that. The Cubs are 30-23. They are up 2-1 right now. They have, I think, 4 or 5 home runs and like
5 home runs last night.
5 of them last night.
I think so.
And the 2 tonight, and they've
5 last night.
6 of them have been solos.
Right.
Yeah.
I think 1 last night was
Bodie had a 2-run homer last night.
Bodie's been
Bodie had
smashing
2
the ball
home runs
lately.
last night, and then Chris Bryant and Kyle Schwarber tonight. Schwarber had 1 last night, I think, too.
He had 2. Him and Bodie went back-to-back twice.
Oh, let's go.
Yeah. Russell the other. No,
I'm pretty sure Schwarber hit 2 last night.
I know Russell hit 1. Hayward hit 1 last night.
Russell hit 1 the first night, didn't he?
Yeah,
we should have done
games.
some better research. I don't know. We're idiots.
I don't think they went back-to-back twice.
I think they did.
But
I'll look it up.
What do you guys – let's get into the bullpen. What do you guys think of that? It's been a little shaky. Like you said, we're going to go through stretches like this, but we can't find a consistency to it. That's what I really want.
Well, the injuries don't help either.
No, Pedro Strop, he pitched last night for the Iowa Cubs. I think it was a 6-inning.
He's not the savior of this bullpen, though.
No, we're going to need more than that.
You need more than Pedro Strop.
It'll be nice to have him, like maybe a little bit more of consistency to it.
Oh, damn it, I was wrong.
That's what I thought. But yeah,
it usually doesn't happen.
That happens quite a bit.
No, that's just not actually accurate.
We do need a little bit more. I think like a Craig Kimbrell, who you can't really talk about him right now because they're not going to sign him until June 1st, right? It's June 1st is the draft. Or
Yeah.
No, it's
you can start June 1st because you don't lose that
draft
pick. Yeah.
So they're going to at least wait until then. But the only thing is, I'm afraid there's going to be a lot of people on him then.
Yeah.
I'd like to see a trade for Ken Giles, actually.
Oh, that'd be beautiful.
Who's been pitching all this year. You don't have to worry about him being rusty coming into it, taking a long time to get prepared. Like, he's been pitching. He's ready to go. Let's bring him in.
He's probably not going to – they're not going to be super eager to give him up, though, right?
I'm sure it'll take a sizable package to get him. Yeah, that's what she said. To try to get him to come over to Cubs. I don't know. I just don't think Pedro Strop's the answer. He was shaky when he was healthy. I think he had like 6 or 7 save appearances, and he blew 3 of them. I believe.
Yeah, I think that sounds right.
I just don't think he's the guy to be the closer, and I think he's at best your setup man. I just don't think you can depend on Morrow coming back at this point. So I think you got to go out and get somebody else.
Yeah, I don't necessarily think that the Kimbrel basket is the only one to go lay your eggs in. Go out, do your due diligence, get your scouting done, and find someone, maybe a younger guy that is possibly on a team looking for a new home and make your move there. But I do think you have to add something just because of the way that this bullpen has been stretched out. We've seen starters, and kind of something I wanted to talk about was the starting rotation and how shitty that's been the last week. But those guys are getting a lot of miles put on those arms because of the short starts, and you can't really blame those guys. Like, I know their job is to go out and pitch, but they're getting more hours or more innings on their arm early in the season. That's a scary thought. So I think in order to shore up some innings, you're going to have to go out and pick up an innings eater that might not be the end-all, be-all, because I feel like if Pedro Strop gets back healthy, he can be your playoff closer. I don't think he's going to be the reason the Cubs lose in the playoffs, but you've got to get them there. You've got to get that bullpen there in one whole piece, because right now they are banged up, and it's just scary.
I would like to see, I know it'll take an arm out of the bullpen, but I would like to see maybe a Tyler Chatwood 6th starter for right now. Maybe
make him the closer.
Oh, but you know what
I mean?
I'm
starting like that.
But throw him in for like 1 or 2 starts just to give
if
John
this continues, absolutely.
And Cole Hamels that extra day, because I didn't like the 2 starts before last night for John Lester, but last night he just came up against a team, the Astros.
Yeah, and the Astros just raked.
Gave up a lot of home runs, but this team that's a very good offense, and I'm not going to get.
They were a good offense and still didn't have 3 of their best players in the lineup.
You can't really take away from that a struggle,
especially in that
against
ballpark.
An offense, a team like that. Especially both teams were going at it last night.
Definitely.
Both teams getting home runs back and forth. So I'm worried about some of the things. You can kind of see some of the tendencies on there when he kind of cannot find the zone.
Yeah.
That worries me a little bit. But I think he's going to right the ship. But I also think maybe, I'm not saying that I wouldn't like Chatwood in the as relief. But maybe the next 2 starts, you give him that 6th start, and maybe that will give them a little bit more rest and
for sure
get them to the All-Star break.
I think the way you look at it is you find, because you're going to get to that point in the schedule where you play that wild, like 25 games in 27 days.
Right now they're on 17 games in 17 days.
And that's a lot. Don't get me wrong. But you got to find that stretch where you're playing, like I said, there's always that one weird stretch. Hopefully it's not at the end of the season this year like it was last year. But you find that stretch where it's in the 20s. You're playing so many games in so many days. You need to get, maybe John needs an extra day, or Kyle Hendricks, whoever needs that extra day, Cole Hamels, and then you schedule in a 6th start. But I really like the idea of Tyler Chatwood and Pedro Strop, finding out which one's your closer and which one's your setup guy. Because right now, I love Pedro Strop, but I think it can go either way. Tyler Chatwood is having a hell of a year, and I like to see what he's doing coming out of that bullpen late. I mean, he is just burning that ball right now.
Well, another wild card, and he is wild. Dylan Maples, another guy who has these. We've been saying this for 2 years now. He has the stuff to be an elite bullpen.
But same as Chatwood has problems finding
it. So hopefully, maybe you get them both on track here at the same time, and that could be a solid 7th, 8th inning thing. Or Chatwood's your closer. Maples got to get you there. A big guy. Like the Cubs need a guy right now who can come in there with a guy on third base and 2 outs and get a strikeout. Or a guy with 1 out or no outs and get a strikeout.
With that being said, we've talked a lot about this, is the miles put on by the starting. How, on a scale of 10, to kind of shift the conversation, on a scale of 10, how worried are you guys about the starting rotation in this bad week to 10 days that they've had?
Before we get into that, we are going to get into leftovers here in a little bit. So if you have some questions to throw at us, just keep throwing them at us. We'll be doing that towards the end of the show here.
Yep,
so
keep them coming.
So keep them coming.
You guys are doing great.
But yes, I'm not. The stretch has worried me, but the guys that we have, I think Darvish is starting to look a little bit better. And I trust Cole Hamels and John Lester to figure it out once it comes playoff time.
Kyle Hendricks is Kyle Hendricks. He's going to be solid.
Quintana's really just the last start was his worst start probably. So I'm not too worried about him figuring it out. What do you guys think of the difference between Cole Hamels on the road and Cole Hamels at Wrigley?
I would almost rather right now give Tyler Chatwood, just flip-flop him, make Cole Hamels come out of the bullpen on the road, and Tyler Chatwood can have his start. Like he is a completely different pitcher right now. And I don't think it's going to continue, but you do have to, I don't know. It scares me.
Yeah, I like Cole Hamels a lot. I think a big part of his struggles lately has been command. He's had a lot of walks lately, and we already knew he's going to give a lot of home runs. That's kind of what he does. He gives a lot of fly balls. He's going to give his home runs, but it cannot be the guys on base. And with him walking guys, he's got himself in trouble, giving up like 2-run homers, 3-run homers, which really puts him in a bind. So I think if he can just get his command under control, I think he'll be just fine.
I think he's getting the ball up a little too much,
Yeah,
and I think he's getting just murdered for it. Keep the ball down, and he's a vet. He should know this.
Yeah.
What Blair said, Javi's been playing DH the last few days. It wasn't that he was playing
that third
somewhere else.
tonight.
Well, yeah, I just think that's because they wanted to get Chris Bryant back in the lineup, but DH him.
Yeah.
And it just kind of seemed to get Bodie at.
I wonder how much his heel is still bothering him too. That might be something too. Maybe he doesn't
but
move
I don't
around
think
as
he's
much.
gonna worry. I don't think he's gonna lose.
No,
his
he's
shortstop
not
spot.
shortstop.
And either way, we've talked about this. This is an abundance of riches situation because Addison Russell is finally starting to hit the ball. He's still the same good defensive infielder. No, we still don't like who he is as a person, but this is a good sign. This is a good thing to have. I'm not panning for Javi to lose the shortstop spot, but if there's games where he needs, to DH or play at another position because of an injury that might not get as much action, then I'm all for it because Addison Russell is playing good as of right now.
But as you say, the abundance of riches, Descalso.
You always put an extra C in it.
Has been struggling as of late because, like they said, he's the type of guy you can throw in every fifth day, and you can throw at him.
He's playing every day.
And then with Zobrist maybe not coming back, most likely not going to be back for 2019 at this point. Like they said, if he comes back, he's going to have to go play a minor league stint for a little bit just to get back into it. Yeah. So that's two guys that we kind of thought about at the beginning of the season that may not be there at the end of the season.
Yeah.
Because you can't play them every day. So maybe they're going to try and bring somebody up, or maybe they're going to look to trade for maybe a second baseman utility guy.
Well, I don't know. You could. I mean, if you can keep the middle of your infield healthy, then see where that goes, and maybe use that as a piece.
Bodie at second base.
Yeah.
I think that's nice that you can kind of throw him wherever. I think that will help with those guys not being maybe there at the end of the season. Sadly, about the Dustin Pedroia news, that
sucks. It does suck
with his knees that he may never play baseball again. It's just I don't know how many knee injuries has he.
He's had quite a few. It's probably 2 or 3. I mean, it just sucks to see guys like that. It's one of those things like you realize you're finally getting old when like the guys that you remember making their major league debut when they start getting towards the end of their career. Like I remember Ben Zobrist on the Rays back in that 2008 season being a younger guy, right? And then knowing he was from Central Illinois. But like that's when you finally start to feel old and like you feel for Dustin Pedroia because he was always a Johnny Go Hard, and I like that. That's fun to watch.
Another guy who was out because of his knees, Brandon Roy, a great point guard.
Yeah. Now he's a great coach, high school basketball coach.
But he had to, I think, end his career short because of knee injury.
Yeah, I just couldn't do it anymore. Yeah, it's tough. You hate seeing stuff like that.
See where Derrick Rose ends up. Speaking of knee injuries,
as long as it's not in Chicago.
No,
is he up for an award for the NBA right now?
Yeah, I think so.
And it's not that I don't
comeback
want him.
Comeback
players
on the Bulls, I like him.
It's just not a good fit.
It's not a good fit for either person. Like he needs to go somewhere that's going to be a contender now. And
Lakers.
No,
I don't think he can. I don't think he can play with LeBron.
I bet he could.
He can't shoot. I mean,
oh my gosh!
He was better this.
LeBron can't shoot. He just killed a 14-year-old in a 3-point shooting contest.
I said D Rose can't shoot.
How was that unbelievable? That was adorable.
Taco Tuesday. It's Taco Tuesday.
That was
I didn't see that one.
That was funny.
It was funny because it was just so outrageous.
Dude, he's a corny dude. Like he's always been a corny dude. Like he dances on the court.
His son is the same exact way.
Yeah, I like it. All right, let's jump into it. The White Sox 25-29. But this is kind of going to dip into our leftover question, but I got to ask this question. Lucas Giolito in fuego right now. 5-0 in the month of May and 6 starts. 1.74 ERA, 46 strikeouts to 10 walks. Is
All-Star?
Yeah, all right. This is the question I got from my boss, so we got to answer this one. Is he right now the best starting pitcher in Chicago?
Ooh. performing right now.
Yeah, he is.
I guess stats-wise, yes.
But let's see him can do it if he can do it
consistently.
consistently.
Keep it going.
Give me more than a month.
It's promising for the Sox. It's a guy that you wanted to hit on for a little bit here, and is finally starting to show what he really can do after struggling last year. It's nice to see a guy like that because then you can have a Kopech come back next year, and then Rodon come back next year.
Kopech, Rodon. Dylan Maple.
Yeah, you're right.
No, sorry.
Cease.
Sorry.
I always get Cease and Maples mixed up.
Dylan Cease could come up at some point. That's going to be a great young rotation, and if he's pitching that way throughout this year and into next year, that could be the best rotation in the AL Central.
Oh,
for sure,
definitely,
and possibly the whole American
And it's just
League.
exciting in general for now too. Like someone you can actually have to
every 5 days. You can wake up and think, okay, we're gonna watch Giolito.
But hey, seriously, on the White Sox, how great would it be to get to play the Kansas City Royals 19 times a year?
Oh,
yeah.
Holy crap, are they
but
bad?
he did against Houston too.
I'm not saying Giolito. I'm just saying for the White Sox, like they're about to sweep the Royals. They're up 7-1 right now, but the Royals, like I'm not convinced that they could beat some really good AAA teams.
It's them and the Orioles for the toilet bowl this year.
It's so bad. It's just bad baseball, but it is fun to watch. Like the White Sox, especially, and I've talked about this before. I love those days where like the White Sox play at 1 and the Cubs play at 4. So I just streamlined 6 hours of baseball. But I kind of mentioned this earlier, but if you're a Sox fan, go to the damn game.
Yep.
Like I understand it's a weekday, 1 o'clock start from a makeup, but that was insane. There was legitimately like 10 people there.
Like there has to be some bums on the street. There's like you can at least give them
just walk out
and tell them to go.
You're already on the south side. Like that's not saying that that's the only place, but like you always see homeless people when you're out that area. Yeah. Anywhere in Chicago, walk out and give them some tickets and just put butts in the seats. Like come on.
What if you want to go?
If I owned a team, I would do that. I would go out to like Skid Row and just hand out tickets. Be like, come sit in our stadium for 3 hours.
Probably we're not owners.
They're cheap on SeatGeek, and if you use the promo code The Loop Sports in all caps, you can get $20 off. Might buy you 2 tickets.
They probably would have. SeatGeek would have probably paid you money to go into the game yesterday.
I don't know if they would have paid you.
If you use our promo code.
Oh yeah, you would actually.
Like we're saying, it's too bad because they're playing good baseball and they've been solid.
Exciting baseball.
They're exciting. Yeah, I shouldn't say good, but they were playing solid. They're
performing above expectations.
Yes,
I think that's
they're
the
beating the
biggest
teams
thing.
they're supposed to beat while competing with the likes of the Astros and the Red Sox and those teams.
It doesn't help
giving
that
them
the best team in baseball in their division right now.
Yeah,
the Minnesota Twins are on fire.
Yes, they are.
Record in baseball.
They're up 10 games right now.
Yeah, 10 games on what is it? The Tigers maybe?
No, Indians.
Yeah, Indians are also slumping. They have no
offense. The Tigers even
offense.
have a baseball team anymore?
Yeah, I think they do.
No, they're pretty terrible.
I'm pretty sure they have.
They are. You talk about I shit on Kansas City, but Detroit. Gun to my head, other than Miguel Cabrera, not sure I could name a single player on the Tigers.
No, but it is a team. So
yeah, maybe
not
confirmed.
I think it's
not confirmed
when they go out there and
all right,
baseball.
New segment time. Leftovers. So we've had some questions. 3.5 games out of the wild card for the Sox. Good stuff. Thanks, Josh. Appreciate it. So this is our new segment called Leftovers. We ask for questions before the show. We ask for questions during the show, and there's just some stuff we can't get to without bebopping around too much. We're trying to stay a little bit more on topic because we all have pretty bad cases of ADD. So let's get to it.
That's what I call it.
Yeah, well, that's what we're going to go with. So first question for Pat Beals. Did you guys catch the ceremonial first pitch of the Sox game last night?
Yes.
What are your thoughts?
They let the employee go out there, and this lady.
You have to fire that woman today.
Hit the camera.
Embarrassing.
The cameraman. And they both got interviewed today. It was the media was going nuts.
If you are a baseball team and that woman works for your team and does that on national television, you have to fire her today.
I liked it.
That's worse than 50 cents.
A guy, Joe O, who has been on the podcast,
yep.
Tweeted out that it goes, this interview, and then the next big thing will be Kopech's return, and then Dylan Cease coming up.
That's bad.
In the sense of the media was going a little crazy.
Was that the worst first pitch of all time? It's got to be. Did you guys ever see the video in Boston? The guy throwing out the first pitch, and there's a guy behind the plate taking pictures, and he threw it over the catcher. I think it was 5 guys. It was the guys from one of the Boston World Series teams. And he throws the pitch, and it goes over the catcher, and this guy's got his camera right here, and it just, bam, smokes him in the nuts.
I think I have seen that.
That might be the funniest
You've seen the one where it wasn't a first pitch, but it was when Rob Gronkowski used the Lombardi Trophy as a baseball bat and invented
It's
it.
kind of a dumbass. So.
That's hilarious.
I'll give you one, and you might need to think about this and report back to me next week. Best first pitch of all time, George W. Bush on September 12th, 2001.
Yep.
That was gangster. When he came out after the 9/11 attack, I believe it was the day after, and threw a heater in there. It was a nice pitch. So think about that.
That'd be my worst fear ever would be going out there and throwing a bad pitch.
Being the president of the United States the day after 9/11, and you have to go out. I believe it was at a Yankees game, if I'm not mistaken. Maybe a Mets game.
So.
Maybe
Mets or Yankees, one of the two. It was in.
And you just know the whole country's watching you, and you just shoot. That was
down the middle.
Or maybe that was during that World Series.
No, it was definitely right after. It was like the first.
Remember they suspended games for a little
might
while.
have been the first game in New York after 9/11.
Yep, I think you're right.
I think that was the game Mike Piazza hit a go-ahead homer late in the game. I think it might have been a Mets game. No, maybe I can't.
But
I'm
pretty sure you're
about.
right. Okay, so we have 2 questions from my boss. Shout out John Fox. We already answered the one. Is Lucas Giolito the best pitcher in Chicago? This right now, as in May 29, 2019, as of late, yes, he is. But let's see if he can confirm it. We can all agree there.
But he's exciting to watch now, and I think he's going in the direction that everyone has been wanting him to go in for a long time, and he's finally getting scooted in that direction.
Definitely. Second question from John, and we've kind of talked about this question a little bit, but he's got another wrinkle in it for us. Do the Bulls trade the number 7 straight up by itself for Lonzo Ball, or do you keep the pick and try and package something for D'Angelo Russell?
Out of those two, Russell.
I agree.
Package.
Yeah. What would you say, though, if it cost you maybe one of your core guys?
Which one?
Wendell Carter.
Yes, I'll take
Okay.
that. I think
I don't know,
Wendell
because
Carter's
you
replaceable.
just got to sit back and look at it. I know you don't have much expectations from the 7th pick, but you got to see where his talent level is, and you still like Wendell Carter, and he's been in the system, and you kind of want to go with him. Does it add up to a D'Angelo Russell?
Yeah.
Yes, I know he's a dominant point guard, but he's also just one player.
Right.
But I'm not saying I wouldn't like that, but I would be a little iffy on it. But because in the moment, yes, you want to get D'Angelo Russell, you want to get that point guard, but you're taking away a big man that we have been kind of working with. And I would like to see maybe a different guy and a Chris Dunn for D'Angelo Russell and the 7th pick.
But we can all agree no Lowry, Markkanen, don't even ask.
No Lowry.
Okay. No Lowry. Probably no Levine.
I just don't think
that was another one I was going to ask. Would you consider Levine?
I think
I actually would think about it more just because of the fact I think the point guard is the most important position in the NBA, but that would literally be my only reason. And to be honest, I mean, I think D'Angelo Russell had an amazing year, but let's see him combine a couple years.
Yeah,
I think you're staking a lot on the 7th pick and a guy that is kind of looking to be in your future on a guy who, yes, he had a good year, but like you said, you don't know what's going to be the future, and you maybe want to see a little bit more from him before you stake that much in him.
Definitely. So if Russell comes on the Bulls, is he their best player if he comes on the Bulls right now?
Yes.
So
be him and more.
If you're bringing somebody who could be your best player, that's probably a good. It's probably a good trade if you can do that.
Because D'Angelo Russell can go out and give you 45 in a night, in any given night. I'm not sure Lowry's going to give you 45.
No, he'll give you 30, 35, but he's not going to go out for 50. He's never going to carry you. He's not okay. The days of like the Dirk team where Dirk could score 30 points a night and lead your team, it's not going to happen anymore. Lowry's a guy who has to be second best player in the team.
Yep, I completely agree. All right, let's move on to Kevin Schneider's question. Shout out, Kevin. Do you think the Bulls will actually make a run at bigger free agents or just accept the status quo because of our front office? That's the first question. He's got a second part to it, but I'll leave that one to you. Do they have a realistic shot at any free agents that are worth even mentioning?
No.
I think they have a realistic spot because they can say we're going to get the 7th pick. We have a little bit of a core. If you come in, maybe you can be the first building block to something. But it's not like the Bulls aren't mentioned in the KDs, the Kyries, and this and that. They're not named in the big ones. I don't think they're going to go after.
You're going to get mid-level guys.
Maybe we'll get a mid-level one which I wouldn't even be that mad about. A nice guy to maybe start building to the future, because what this NBA draft lottery has shown us is tanking is going to do nothing for us. Losing games for no reason is going to do nothing for us now. Because we did it this year, and a lot of teams did it this year, and it didn't work out for any of them.
Yeah.
I mean, the Pelicans kind of started at the end of the year, but it wasn't like they had a crazy bad record. They won 30-something games this year. So I don't think they're going to get a big time free agent, but I could see them going after one. And at this point, I'm fine with the days of getting maybe like a Dwayne Wade and a Rajon Rondo, just because I don't like that. But you know what I mean?
Yeah, you're
Guys
talking
like
experienced veterans.
Because because at some point you want to start tanking, but you can't. Like at this point, you got to start doing something because tanking's not going to work.
I don't hate those 1-year deals, and then if you're out of it at the end, then you tank and see what kind of like the Pelicans did. Yeah, they were in it for a while, and then at the end they shut everything down, and they ended up with the number one.
I think you'd have a direction, no matter what you do.
Exactly.
Pick a direction where you're going. You can't be in the middle like they were for so many years.
Yeah. And second part to Kevin's question: what do you think it will take for the Bulls to make the playoffs next year? Do you even think they have a chance? I definitely think they have a chance in the East. But what's it going to take? What's going to be the move?
A free agent pickup. It's going to be a big time free agent pickup. A guy that's going to come in and be able to change the culture of the locker room, really connect with maybe the younger guys. I think it's going to take a veteran to come in and maybe take over this locker room.
I think I love that point, and I think you're going to need to maybe even add a couple more of those maybe lower-level veteran guys to solidify the bench. I don't want to see, if we're going to be in the playoffs next year, Cristiano Felicio has to be wearing street clothes. Yeah, if you really want to make the playoffs, Cristiano Felicio cannot play in NBA games. He is not a guy that's going to play on a team that's going to go to the playoffs. No. And if he is in the game, it better be in the last 45 seconds when you're up 15 points. I think the Eastern Conference, there's a good shot that they can get in. But like you said, you've got to go add some pieces. And I hate to even say this, but you have to find a rookie that isn't necessarily going to make a dramatic impact for the first year, but can contribute in pieces and help you maybe pick up 2 wins. 3 wins, get you over, because I think they're going to be somewhere they're good enough to be in the upper 30s, lower 40s win range. So if you get a guy that can add just a little bit, just a smidge to help you, I think that's what's going to push
if they're
them.
Healthy. Because unfortunately, Levine's got his knee problems in the past. Markins has back problems now. Wendell Carter Jr. was out for most of the year this year. So we don't know what these guys, how healthy they're going to be. So hopefully they stay healthy. If they don't take a step forward, I think you get like one good free agent to come, not a great one, but a good one, because they're not going to get a great one. Yeah. But a good one, and then some solid pieces around that. I think they can make the 8 seed, 7 seed, somewhere in there.
Kind of a funny question here from James Pelican. Thanks, James, for the question. Is it weird that Lucas Giolito did not know the start time of last night's game was 6:40? Apparently, he said in an interview that he wasn't sure. He didn't know that last night's game started at 6:40 and not 7:05.
That's happened before, hasn't it? And not Giolito, but I remember like the Cubs had a start like 2-3 years ago where whoever was pitching had no idea that it was going to start at the time it did. And I think it's so strange.
I know this might be a stretch, but is that organizational dysfunction that your starting pitcher doesn't know what time?
It just makes sense, though. He gave up a early 3-run homer. So
he wasn't ready.
He was just getting into the flow of the game.
I'm not a Sox fan, but
I am funny.
I am strongly joining the Ricky Renteria is a terrible manager.
Well, it kind of
stop making
I feel bad for him.
Emphasized every time a lineup comes out. Yeah, usually.
Well, and that's the thing. Like, and I know it seems minute, but maybe that is the point. Maybe and I know it was a weird day because they had the continuation of the suspended game, but like that's something so minute. And I learned that being a manager for a college basketball team, like it's the little tiny details that when they screw up. Maybe it was that not being prepared that caused him to give up that early home run. So who knows? It could be something major, but I do think that is very strange that your starting pitcher doesn't know. And for it to even happen once, like there's somebody that fell apart and didn't do their job.
Yeah, that's interesting.
We also got a question from Blair from back in the show.
Yep.
What's your thoughts on the Rockets GM putting anyone up for trade? I think it's a good idea.
Yeah.
I'm guessing no Harden. I don't think.
Chris Paul and Clint Capella were the 2 names I heard today.
But who's going to take Chris Paul's contract?
Somebody will, though. I just feel like some team...
Would the Lakers consider doing that?
That's what I'm thinking. Like a team like the Lakers would consider picking up that...
Is he worth it?
Yeah. Oh, yeah.
You think?
Especially, like I said, I value that point guard so highly in the NBA. I think, especially with the way Lonzo's career's kind of gone and the way he actually plays the 2 sometimes now, the way that everything's going there, I think he'd be a good fit, and I think it would be good for that organization to have Chris Paul and LeBron teamed up again. But there's got to be somebody out there that might be, thinking that, this might be crazy, but you talk about getting that veteran. Would you trade, if you're the Bulls, for Chris Paul for 2 years?
No, because I just don't think in the time that he's going to be there, the Bulls will not be at that
But
level.
if that gets the Bulls to the playoffs next year, do you make that?
I'm up for a
I
1
don't
and
know.
2
I
year
could see
experience
Guard
because,
Pax doing something.
because
dumb. I don't
the
want him to
reason
do it.
there was a lot of reasons you shouldn't like like I said, the Wayne Wades and the Rondo, but it was because you wanted to tank. And at this point, what does it matter if you win a few games that you probably shouldn't have won? At this point, they have eliminated the tanking from really mattering. So I don't know. I'd like to have maybe you bring a Chris Paul and maybe he could spark a little bit of an excitement into an Eastern Conference run or something like that. I don't know. I'm not putting it because no, I wouldn't want to give him crazy money, but 1-2 years and Chris Paul is trying. Maybe we bring a point guard in and he can mentor the guy and something like that. I don't know. I think as much as I'm not a big fan of Chris Paul, it usually seems like his locker room likes him. So
yeah, and like the thing that I look at it as like Clint Capella, they just signed him to a huge contract a couple years ago, and there's showing face right now, and they are thinking that he's not as good as the money they paid him, so they're going to try and dump him on someone else.
Right.
And to me, as a GM, that is a red flag, and that's something that you have to stay away from.
Although he's a guy, a team who, like maybe the Lakers, something like that, might go after because he is a piece that he's not a superstar, but he's a guy who can give you, 10 to 15 points a game, and he's going to block a couple shots.
Be on an all-star team every couple years.
Yeah, and then nothing else, he gives LeBron some help down low on
Definitely.
defense, which they just didn't have this past year.
Definitely. Well, thank you, everyone, for the questions. We really
yes, we will be
appreciate
doing
that.
leftovers. Same after all of our sports sections, our sports segments are done. So, like you said, we like a little bit of maybe some before the show because if you're thinking of it throughout the week, send it in and we'll answer
Yeah,
them.
definitely. If you come up with something like randomly, you're driving to work and you go to get out of the car and you're like, that's a good question. DM us. Just send it to us and we'll keep it.
We won't answer it until right now.
Yep,
So
yep. These and we didn't prepare. We didn't give each other these questions. I was the only one that saw them for the most part. So these are fresh. These are off the top of our head. So thank you guys. We appreciate the interaction. Zach, get that candy bar out, man.
Oh yeah, here we go. This is a new one that we do not think. I don't think it's gonna be very good. It's a Three Musketeer bar birthday cake. In
like
the middle
why?
Of it.
Why? What
Sounds strange.
What's the point?
You are my one wish. It says.
Were people? Thank you. But were people clamoring? Like, first of all, I have very low expectations. I think Three Musketeers are grossly overrated. But they were people like picketing outside and be like, "I want birthday cake."
I already just don't like this.
Yeah, this is weird. There's color. You can't see it because our camera's not that great. But
is there?
Yeah.
Oh.
That's terrible.
I taste nothing.
Oh,
Like
It tastes like a Three Musketeer.
dude,
It tastes like a Three Musketeer bar.
that's disgusting.
Am I sick or something? I don't taste anything.
No.
Okay, do you ever just eat sprinkles?
I think it's a ripoff because I don't think
it tastes like I'm just eating sprinkles without anything.
Like there's a little bit of pink and.
This is
I don't
not
taste
good.
Yeah, I got nothing here.
I'm glad you bought this and not me. This is bad.
It was in the bin. It's crazy, man.
There's no one to buy it, Ben.
Well, what do you got?
0.6. This is trash. I keep trying to finish my piece because I'm like, it's got to get better. This is not good.
Yeah,
Don't buy this.
I'm gonna go 0.9. It's not even to the one. I don't taste anything.
Yeah, it's a very okay. We've been spoiled. We've had some really good candy bars. That's the worst one we've had so far.
You know what? 0.9. Because I like Three Musketeers bar, but that's what it tastes like.
See, I don't like.
But that's not what it's supposed to taste like. So that's why you're getting such a low grade because you did nothing.
Okay,
there's no birthday cake flavor in there.
Like great value, not to shit on Walmart, but Walmart brand, all their stuff. It tastes like
I frequently buy it.
It tastes like a Dollar General brand, and I love Dollar General. I shop there all the time. Not crapping on them, but it tastes like a very cheap,
It's
cake
just
frosting put on top of a Three Musketeers.
No, it's not.
Don't like that.
It's like they just made a Three Musketeer bar, but it looked like a little bit of birthday cake in the middle, but they didn't change the flavor. So
I taste frosting, but that's not good.
I'm a little annoyed about it because I was expecting at least a little birthday cake flavor.
Yeah.
There's nothing
There
there.
was nothing.
Don't buy that.
Yeah, so if you're out, we're going to save you the trouble. Don't try. Three Musketeer birthday cake. And if you want it, you can come down to the content cave and you can have the last one. 'Cause I'm not going to eat that.
Well, I saw Reed chimed in, and we'll be talking to Reed here pretty soon. Reed Goodbread. So maybe if he likes Three Musketeers,
Three Musketeer bar, man.
they're all
We'll leave it
yours.
for you. You can have it and do what you want with that. Maybe throw it in the trash
Yeah, that's where it
because
belongs.
that's where it belongs. Let's move on to our TCF top 3. We are doing Cookout Foods because we all had ourselves a nice little weekend, and hopefully most of you got out and did a little bit of a cookout. We weren't able to around here because of the weather that has been just awful as of late. The rain has kind of ruined everything, softball and
But hey,
just any
summer's
outside
coming.
activities,
Summer's
golf.
right around the corner.
Almost
my
there.
grill runs just about every other day in the summer, so I can't wait for this. We are doing the top 3 foods we like to grill: cookout foods, barbecue foods.
Who wants to go first? I'll let you go first.
All right, I'll go first. This is easy. I'm going steak. I love, and I've gotten good at cooking steak on the grill, and just I've actually used to be a medium well guy. Now I'm a medium guy, even a medium rare.
Medium rare is the way to go.
Cookout.
Yeah, you know,
That's the way to go.
It's just me and the wife. We don't have kids yet, so we can splurge on steaks. All right,
Fancy cookout
you know.
guy.
So I'm going steaks all day, and I even love like skirt steak. I'll grill up pounds of skirt steak and just make skirt steak tacos and sandwiches for weeks, and they're usually pretty cheap.
So, Gameboy,
I'll
what do you
take
want to
it.
go with?
Brats.
Brats, great
Big
choice.
big brat fan. I don't like
Do you
hot
have a
dogs too
specific,
small.
because this is going to get down nitty gritty. Do you have a specific flavor? Do you like beer brats? Do you like cheddar brats?
Beer brats.
All right, beer
yeah.
brats.
Cheddar brats. They're good, but
I disagree. I might have to take cheddar brats at 3.
Cookout food. I think I would think this is a cookout food. Pulled pork. I like
Good
a nice
yes,
little
I
pulled
agree. Yeah.
pork. Maybe
That was on my
catered
list.
pulled pork.
Yep.
From like a local barbecue
Well,
place.
If it's catered, is it really cookout food?
Yes. It's
Yeah,
if
'cause
you
they
have it at
cooked
the
it out.
cookout.
No, because
All right.
you know what you really like. If you really want to get adventurous, and I'll do this, I'll buy like the big bags of chicken breasts, grill them all up, barbecue sauce, and put them in a bowl. I got these like bear claw shredders. Pull them apart. It's like pulled pork chicken almost,
Nice.
like the pulled barbecue chicken.
Yeah.
It's amazing. So good choice, pulled pork. What's your 2?
My 2. You know, this is my number 2 because it tops off all a good meal. A nice potato salad. I'm a big potato salad guy. If you got one out there, I like at the end of my plate having a little potato salad.
Oh,
on
see, I'm
there.
going all carnivore on this. I'm not going side dishes.
I'm going side dishes.
That's fine. I'll give you potato salad. That's a good choice. That's
Because
not a
it
bad.
tops off every.
I'm very weird on potato salad. Some of them are really good, but like I feel like there's no middle ground. There's no average potato
Yeah.
salad.
Well, yeah,
It's
and
either amazing or it tastes like you
you can't
made
really.
it 3 weeks.
That's
Don't
how
think about-
coleslaw
don't
is
think
too.
about
I
what's
think
in
it's
coleslaw's
like,
disgusting.
yeah.
Yeah, don't think about what's in the potato salad.
Oh, see, I like.
see, that
you guys ever
ruins it.
had red potato salad?
I have.
Oh,
Yeah.
game changer.
That's
a lot of
it's-
flavor.
Yeah, good stuff.
What's your 2, gamer?
I'm gonna go with the north side dish. Kind of follow Z Lil here. Baked beans.
Oh,
terrible.
gamer.
Oh,
No,
I
really?
know. I mean, I'm not
Really?
I like them. But
No.
I like baked beans a lot. It's something over the last
put 'em
couple
on
of
a
years.
It's a dish for the pores.
Over the last
Not
couple of
true.
years, I have
Yes,
loved baked beans. I don't know
I
what
guess
it is,
true,
but it is really good.
Oh, that's
baked beans. I like a good baked beans.
All right.
Yeah.
It's good.
I'm gonna go, and again, I'm just going all carnivore here. I'm gonna go shrimp on the grill.
Ooh, that's good.
I've got these, like,
My
skewers.
Fancy.
goodness.
I've got this skewer set up. It's a metal thing that folds open. And it's got skewers, and I skewer the shrimp. I go. I'm deep in the grilling
You
game,
are
boys.
yeah,
a
I'm
fancy
deep.
boy over
I
here.
go with cilantro, lime, vinaigrette that I marinated in.
Oh my
skewer,
gosh.
grill, and then I've even. This is why I'm not going to put this on the list, but I have made shrimp scampi on the grill.
That sounds amazing. I'm coming
Ooh,
over this
Mr.
summer more.
Fancy
I put
though.
about 2 sticks of butter in it, but yeah,
You tell me when you're making that. I will
Maybe
be
we need
over here.
Maybe we need the fancy life of Boomy
Oh,
over here.
it is.
Jeez Louise.
Wait, we're gonna have a TCF cookout. Boomy on the grill.
I will run
He's
the
making
grill.
steak and shrimp. Only steak and shrimp.
All right, now I'll take it down to your guys' level because you can't leave this out. It's hamburgers.
Yep.
I
Oh,
don't like
yeah.
hot dogs. I love brats. I'm going to leave those to you,
Mhm.
but I am a hamburger.
Yeah.
If
Good
I
cheese,
if I
man.
know I've been drinking, I don't go steak, shrimp. I don't even go chicken because I'll undercook it. But if I'm going to be drinking all day and I'm going to be like, we always have a 4th of July party here. We had like 30 people here last year and I grilled out hamburgers. Boy, that is the best thing when you're just drinking all day and need something to sop up. That's a good drinking day grill meat.
Absolutely.
Without a doubt. What's your third? Since you dropped the ball on baked beans.
I really can't believe that.
Chill out, guys.
I don't know as an adult if I've ever bought a can of beans.
Oh, I have. I wouldn't say I bought it, but I've definitely ate.
Yeah.
I mean,
The last I've eaten
the
beans was on my Chipotle bowl.
I'm just saying, if I get baked beans, like that's
baked
what I'll eat. I'll get it with my main like plate. But if I'm still hungry, like I'll go back for more.
Please tell me you don't
beans.
put hot dogs in your beans.
No. Just
no.
I don't want any
Yeah,
meat in my
sounds good,
beans. I just want the beans. Let's see.
Oh, go ahead. Because I'm actually going to replace my hamburger.
You
can have
that's
it.
not how it works.
I'm going to do it.
Go on.
Stop me.
You're going last.
Pork chops.
Good
Pork
choice.
chops.
Ooh.
Also a great one if you're like going to a fundraiser cookout.
Yes.
That's the best because they always have them seasoned. They're usually pretty well cooked. They I'm a weird grill guy. I like a little char on my pork chop.
I do too. I actually do too.
Character.
I think with a pork chop, it's really easy to mess up though. You could very easily not put enough seasoning on it, cook it too long because you don't want a really dry pork chop. It's got to be cooked right.
A little oil on top. Okay, I'm replacing my number 3.
I said you're going last.
No, I'm not.
Last.
I'm gonna pick macaroni and cheese.
Oh, that's fine.
You weren't gonna pick that. Macaroni and cheese is the best side dish.
I thought you were going only
taking cheesy potatoes.
Oh, you're only going meats.
I know we messed up here.
You messed up. I said I was going.
What's your third one?
My third one, a big platter. Somebody brings a big thing of wings.
I can grill that.
That's what I mean. You just put it on the grill. You get a bunch of them. You get them just covered in sauce, and you just take at random times. Usually, like maybe not even a cookout, like a Super Bowl party, or
that's a good choice.
Or like just watching the game with the guys. Even at a nice cookout, though, you just have a big platter of wings. You can just take a few if you want for the side, or take a bunch if you want them for the meal.
I totally agree.
I like
so
that.
I'll stick with hamburgers, but we definitely missed
out.
No, you're mac and cheese.
Mac and cheese. So hamburgers we missed out on. Where do you guys sit on hot dog? Well,
I probably don't sit on a hot dog, but
we just ruined Jake's plans. Where do you guys stand?
Hey, just cook it first.
Oh my god!
Sorry. So, hot dogs. What are your guys' thoughts? I personally don't. My dog likes hot dogs, so I'll grill up, like a cheap thing of hot dogs and feed her snacks throughout the week. But you guys might destroy me for this. Cheddar dogs, pretty fire.
I like that. I like a bratwurst with some cheddar in it too. So yeah, I like that.
I mean, hot dogs are good. They're not.
They're there.
Yeah,
right?
they're not.
They're the ones you eat when everybody else is eating all the hamburgers.
Exactly.
And
when the burgers and brats and everything else are gone, and there's a couple of hot dogs there, and you're like, okay, fine.
Josh asked,
That's when you have one.
Are we gas life or charcoal?
Oh,
life?
I am Hank Hill, baby. Propane accessories. I have a charcoal grill. I don't mind using it, but if I have the choice, I'm going propane all day, every day.
I don't usually cook my food, so
yeah,
I would say I think it's propane.
Well, my thing this summer is I want to start grilling more.
Yeah.
So, I'll
give you some lessons. We should film some content.
Right,
I'll give you some tips. We'll make shrimp
fancy.
scampi.
You'll make some steak.
I'm excited. We're doing this,
and I'll sit there and I'll eat it.
Yeah, exactly. We'll sit there and drink beers and watch us.
That's my favorite
make some food.
Well, thank you for watching us here tonight on Weekdays with TCF, presented by The Loop Sports. I am Zach Lilia. You can follow me at ZLilja, Lilja, TCF on Twitter. Follow the main page at typical_Chicago. Follow Loop Sports at the Loop_Sports. You're watching us here on Typical Chicago Fans Facebook, or go over to the Loop Sports on Facebook or on Instagram, Typical Chicago Fans and the Loop Sports.
Make sure you follow me on Twitter at Boomy TCF. If you are an Apple user, you can find us on the Apple Podcast app. Make sure you just look up Typical Chicago Fans, subscribe, rate, and review. Check out this week's episode. Me and Zach covered a ton of topics. A lot of NBA, a lot of Cubs, a lot of Sox talk. And if you're not on an Apple, like myself, you can find us on Spotify. Make sure you follow us there. You can even set it to download our podcast when they come out. And make sure you head on over to the YouTube. We're revamping the YouTube page for the summer. We're doing some really cool stuff this summer, even with our second podcast, The Local Legends. So make sure you check us out there. Just like we said, type in Typical Chicago Fans and hit that red subscribe button.
Yeah, give me a follow at TCF Gameboy. If you want one of our shirts for a cookout this summer, since we're talking about Cookout Foods, make sure you hit us up. We'll get you one for $15. You can come pick it up or drop it off. Otherwise, $20. We'll send it to you. But you're definitely going to want one of these shirts. It's a good conversation piece when you get to a cookout. And before too long, they're all be wearing it, so you might as well get it now.
Get on the trend early.
Also, shout out to our sponsor, SeatGeek. Like I said, type in the promo code TheLoopSports. You get $20 off of your first purchase. I'll get you at least 2 tickets to guaranteed rate.
Probably
3.
like 9.
Also, shout out to 26shirts.com Chicago. They got some cool shirts out now. Chicago Marvel, the Super Smash Bros. They got a new Bear shirt out for the next. Maybe the Super Smash Bros. May be done, but I do know they have the Marvel and they have the new Bear shirt. So go out and get that. And also shout out to Monkey Knife Fight. Go out there if you're a big daily fantasy sports guy. Go out there. They got
girl.
Oh yeah, girl,
2019.
Sorry.
Girls can play fantasy sports.
Yes, I can. And if you would like to get into some of daily fantasy sports, not the typical lineup. If you want to go some over-unders, all the major league games and the little few and the NBA and NHL. I don't know if they do NHL, but they do over-unders mostly for major leagues with they had 2 batters, 2 pitchers, Ks, walks, whatever, hits, RBIs for the game. It's a good time. If you don't want to get into spreads and over-unders, like I said, like I do, and I usually fail at it, so maybe you'll be better at a little daily fantasy sports. It's a different way of
DM
gambling.
Zach what he wants, what he likes in daily fantasy, then you play the opposite.
Yes.
And you'll win money.
You go to Monkey Knife Fight, and you type in the promo code LOOP, and they match your deposit up to $100 on your first purchase, so go there and type in the promo code LOOP, and $100 in, you get $100 play, $200 there. You can go out and have some fun with that. Maybe make double, triple. What I usually do not do.
I wouldn't know.
But yeah, I wouldn't know. You said you were even. So that's
I'm okay.
decent.
I'm okay.
Staying above water is nice to have. I
Holding
usually am drowning.
Yep.
So
not doing that, so I'll take it.
yes. But thank you for watching us here on this Wednesday night. We love you all.
Peace.